Ooh, ooh, family. Hey, good morning, good afternoon. How are y'all doing on this wonderful, beautiful morning? I know it's pretty early, but I can never ever get I can never get a video in unless I do it early. So I just want to say first and foremost, good morning to y'all, and welcome to the Mental House. We're gonna try to do something live for those of y'all who are up. This is really like a test, because we've been through a hell of a week, right? Starting with all the things that have been happening. I would say month, last few weeks, and I know a lot of us are emotionally drained, and it's real important to hold on to your mentals at this point. And this conversation is for some self ministry for me because I haven't been doing and being the best that I can. I have fallen short like a lot of us, and it's really starting to affect my health. So I am very, very seriously taking a step back from some of the garbage that has just been permeating, and trying to cleanse my soul, because I, I just know I got more life behind me than I got in front of me, and I don't want to spend the rest of those days in turmoil. If you understand what I'm saying. So, with that being said, if y'all understand and can deal with the space that I'm gonna be in, keep it up because it's all still self-reflecting. Sometimes that gets hard. You got to deal with that. Plus, you got to deal with the outside um, entity. So I think it's real important to shut one of them down. So you can't shut yourself down. So you have to shut that other shit down. Am I right? Okay. Well, I don't know. I thought this was supposed to be a live show, but I don't see the live moniker up here, so I don't know what the hell going on. But nevertheless, let me go ahead. If I'm live and y'all out there, uh, text me, call in. I think all that stuff is in the description. I don't know. I didn't, but or send me a chat, right? And I'll get to your I'll get to your message. That's for sure. But y'all, I just wanted to have a brief conversation about polite. That dirty son of a gun. And I don't want to stay on it and stay on it. I guess the thing that disturbs me the most is I've been talking about this for years, years and years and years. How in our communities, I'm gonna speak it to our community because we're sick. We're if if white folks got a cold, we got AIDS, right? So I have to speak to us because we really can't afford to have a whole lot of mental and emotional baggage on top of the baggage that we already got. So our goal is to really cleanse, really all of us for that matter. But I'm saying specifically, being that our group was enslaved and you know treated like chattel slavery, and here we are working side by side with their children, the great granddaughters and the great grandsons and daughters of the slave and the slave master have to exist in a world that it's a totally barbaric, right? So with that being said, you need to purge yourself from stuff like that. So when you get up off of stuff like that, you got to bring it back home. Bringing it back home was years and years. I've been trying to talk about predators in our community, whether they be financial predators, whether they be emotional predators. I've been talking about this for a long time. And a lot of us have. But of course, either we have a big platform or we don't. Uh, but however many people we reach, we're grateful. But this is nothing new. And I always talked about sitting at the table and having to go to the family picnics with the people who have molested us. And most men don't give a damn about that. They don't even think about that. That's not even part of their psychic. But most women do, because um and I'm gonna take that back, actually, because now that there's been an escalation of boys at least coming out to say they were molested, I can just say the victim and the perpetrator. How difficult that is to sit back, especially for a female who is in have a lot of emotions anyway, to have to suppress them and sit at the dinner table with Uncle John or cousin Blue who molested you. Okay? And most of the time when you really, really think about it, you kids are like in a dream state. And I can remember being violated at about 4 or 5 years old, by a cousin. And the thing about it, it's almost like, a dreamlike state. Because most people who are in, most children are in a dreamlike state too. They get about what, 8 or 9 maybe, or something. It's a dreamlike state. So when you violate a person, a kid, at such an early age, um, that's a hurt, a shame, a anger that they carry around with them for such a long time. So I I say this to say, first of all, this the kind of stuff that has to be weeded out in our community. Some people, and in some countries, they punish you, and they punish this kind of degradance and filth against humanity with death or castration. You get a choice. Either you can get your dick cut off, your penis cut completely off, or you can just go and let them kill you. Kill you. At least you get a choice. In this country, we have, and in the black community, we got rapists, grapists. We have the home invaders. We have all these things that we are subjected to. And people that live next door to you know who are the perpetrators of this kind of violation against you. And guess what? They don't even say anything. They don't even know what happened. And for some reason, in the black community, that's glorified. We got to stop this dumb stuff. See, um, polite should have been dealt with, but you had weak people like Sonetta who enabled him to do what he did, and people not willing to deal with what was going on. I I really feel like the only person that probably tried to talk about both of them to get and that's when I say both of them, I mean Polite and Sonetta, was uh, the brother out of Detroit. I can't think his name right now. But as as black people, we hear a whole lot of hideous stuff, and we just keep it moving. And I'm wondering, is it because are we addicted to drama and abuse? Because Willie Lynch said that we would be. He said that if we do people like the way we get ready to do these enslaved Africans or native enslaved people, that's the other, proverbial other, this is what you can expect the results to be. And by God, he was right. They will be perpetually miserable. They won't know their head from their ass and a hole in the ground. And this is what has happened to us. We don't sweep around our front door at all. In fact, we get upset when somebody brings our filthy rags or the dirt that's on our doorstep. When we've been made aware of it, we get mad. We make excuses. And there's some things you can't blame the white man for. You can't blame the white man for all this craziness that goes on in our cities. Because the same whip that whipped you whipped me. I'm not out here stealing, and it's not or trying to bust people in the head or do whatever I did. Okay, maybe I overcome a lot of those negative thoughts. But the thing about it is, who in a community now is helping people hold their head up? Everybody just want a bag, and so they ignore the abuse, they ignore the trauma. They make you get one with it. They make you flow with it. At least that's what they anticipate on doing. It's almost like a self-perpetuating miserable situation. You're gonna get used to this mistreatment, like a bad lover. You gonna get used to me abusing you like this. You gonna get used to it. And it seems like that's what has happened to us as black people, as a country in general. We are desensitized to things that we should be up in arms about. And in the black community, all we got is our kids to try to make them see a better and have a better life than we had. And all we can do is allow them to be molested. Listen, I know what it feels like to be a part of something. Um, and you know, I'm not making any excuses, nor am I trying to victim blame. I know what it feels like to maybe have a sense of community or want a sense of community. So maybe you join up into a cult or a pastor or a church. But then once you find out that the situation is corrupt, you shouldn't even want to be involved in it no more. You have to figure out a way to get out. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we get put out. So I'm trying to have compassion. And this situation made her put herself out of that because the man violated her daughter. But dear sister, I say there's a lot of things we don't do, and dragging our kids to every situation, especially around a man, we just don't do. And then there's a lot of men gonna get mad about that, but I don't give a two rats ass. I don't give a damn if you're angry. We have to be very careful with our little girls and little boys, okay? But I'm saying more so specifically with little girls because when they become promiscuous and when they become overly sexualized, you'll have a more chance of them becoming pregnant at 10, especially with all the bad foods we eat and steroids and everything. I mean, their bodies are already um, suspect. So if you over sexualize it, you can end up having a child. Like I know people who have had 11-year-old have a baby, a 9-year-old pregnant. What the hell? I know a woman told me one person, because I'm a mandated reporter, I had to get away from him totally. Somebody told me, well, uh, she's a woman. She's supposed to have. I said she's a little girl. She's 11, and it's it's not even the fact that that baby could kill her, and y'all don't care. So whatever, whether you pro-choice or pro-life, whatever the hell, I know no 11-year-old got no business having no damn baby. I don't think her mind and body and soul should be ruined that way. And even on the end, when you know your daughter is having sex and getting in and out of the cars with grown ass men, it's situations that go on like that in the community. Because I saw them. Damn it. And when I say something, I'm ostracized, of course. That's why I had to put a wedge between myself and a lot of people that I grew up with in my community or that's in my family. And sometimes you feel like you're on an island by yourself because that kind of behavior is not supposed to be acceptable. Kids having sex with each other is not a good thing. It's a terrible thing, but somebody showed them how to do that. And if you got a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old or 7 and a 9-year-old, I mean, one of them might grow up to end up being a sexual deviant, and the other one could just possibly not even engage in that behavior anymore. It could go either way. But when we desensitize ourselves to this kind of trauma, I just think, are we addicted to it? And is what Willie Lynch said true? Is it true? You know what I'm saying? Are we addicted to this? And are we perpetually miserable behind some of the stuff that we've been through? And we've normalized dysfunction. I don't know. I really want y'all to engage with me on this. Brothers and sisters, I need to understand where your pulse is. You know, Polite ain't the only one in the community with this. They like to prey on little girls and boys. I had a guy in my neighborhood when I came up. He used to prey on all the little boys and steal them from overnight and take them to abandoned houses and molest them. And the county knew that he was a molester when they put him in the neighborhood with his foster mother, who knew that he was a molester. And she allowed him to run free through the neighborhood, molesting people in the neighborhood. This is the kind of stuff we need to talk about, you know, and we got to have courage to go through this storm because you can't fix what you can't face. So I just want to know what y'all think. I want to know, do y'all think that we're perpetually miserable? Do y'all think there's hope for us emotionally after what we've been through as a people? Do we love drama? You know how some people, if they ain't had an argument in a long time, they don't know something feel wrong. What feels wrong is you've been slated. Your grid is wired for drama, and you seek it out. Just want to start some shit sometimes just to see what'll happen. I don't know. That's just what I think. I want to know what y'all opinion is, and leave a comment, engage, go in on this one. Let me know what you think about Polite too. And with that being said, if you like what you hear, subscribe and share the channel. And I'm going to see you in the next video.